my son was sick. He'd been been they diagnosed him about 3 weeks ago with bipolar 1, and since that time he'd really gotten sick, and I don't know, he was seeing demons, he was hearing demons, he was talking to God. Things had gotten bad in a hurry. Last 2 or 3 weeks, he had really gotten sick. He was staying up all night, all day. I don't know when had any sleep. The demons were out to get him, and they were good demons and bad demons, and good angels and bad angels, and I was trying to get the mental hospitals, get them to put him in a long-term hospital, and couldn't get any kind of help for him. Got a lawyer in Guntersville that had him sent to the hospital, and then they have a hearing in which he hires 2 lawyers, and we go to court, and instead of getting to talk, the lawyers talk to each other, and they tell the judge what they want done, and the judge agrees with them, and instead of him having to go to a hospital, they let him go, and they say for him to go to 150-day mental health thing, not every day, but whenever they had, I guess, time for him, and I don't know if he went or not. We asked the mental health lady, and she said she keeps records, and if he doesn't show up, it's in his record. A record doesn't, unless you making them do this, or it's not taking medication, or a record doesn't help you.
And let me ask you this, sir, because unfortunately, that's the guy we know now. That's the Daniel we know. That's the Daniel the whole community knows. Tell us about the Daniel we knew before 3 weeks ago.
You couldn't ask for a better friend. Anything he could do to help you, he just, like I said, he smart in school, math team, gifted class, got academic scholarships. We found out about a blood disorder in December, hemochromatosis, and the doctor told him that if he didn't get treatment for it, that it was going to kill him. He wouldn't live 10 years. Well, since they told him that, this bipolar has taken over. He was controlling for the last few years. You could tell, some days he's perfect, and then some days he just, you didn't know just if you could talk to him or not. If you didn't say anything, it might be the wrong thing to do. If you did talk to him, it might be the wrong thing to do. You didn't know what to do. And then when this doctor told him that, it was just like, I can't control both of them, and it just got worse and worse all the time, and that's the reason we finally decided to get him committed and diagnosed to see, what's going on here. Is it us, or what's going on? But I never thought nothing like this could ever happen. The night before, he calls me and he says, "Dad, there's demons out here." said, can you come help me? I said, yeah. He said, I'll be down there and get you. So I lived next door, and he ran out, and I got in the truck, and we come up here and looked for demons. We rode in his pickup with flashlights, shining out in the bushes and the woods, and hunting people in pickups, and we didn't find anything. But he wanted to show me the portal of hell. I said, now, he said, it's in Gadsden. I said, let me go show you where it's at. So at 1:30 in the morning, he's driving, we go to Gadsden. And we ride around, and he shows me this warehouse, and he said, this is the portal of hell. But he could tell you something, and things would happen, and you wondering, why did this happen? What made this happen? We pulled into a gas station. We got over there, and I didn't take time to get my billfold, and he didn't have his billfold. We didn't have no money. We got over there, and he said, we ain't got enough gas to get home. I said, well, what are we going to do? He said, there's a good demon at this station. I said, there'll be one good one. So we stopped at the station and drove around and looked at the people, pulled up to the gas pump, and this guy pulls up on a motorcycle and had his girlfriend on the back. He asked him, said, can I get $5 worth of gas? Can you help me get home? And that guy gets his billfold out and didn't have any money in it. He said, I'm sorry, I ain't got any money. And he said, well, how about $2? He said, I don't have any money. Well, this guy walks down beside the store building towards the back of our truck, and then he turns around and comes back, and he looks out there at my son and says, I tell you what, I said, come on in the store. I don't know how he got the gas, but he goes in the store and he comes back out, and we pump $5 worth of gas. And I said, what happened? He said, I told you that was a good demon. And he tells that guy, said, come on, follow us out of town. Said, we'll lead you out of town. And that guy said, no. Said, I don't know where I'm going yet. So he looks at me and he says, see, he's waiting to do another good deed. And he don't know who it's going to be yet or what he's got to do. And so we coming back, and he said, you want to run through a drive-in and get us a burger right quick? I said, we don't have any money. And he said, oh yeah, that's right. So we come on a little farther, and a little bit he says, you know, run through and let's get us a hamburger. And I said, well, we still ain't got no money. He does that 3 times before we get home. We get home at 3:30 in the morning. We look around, be sure there's no demons or nothing. We go down to the house, and he lets me out. And he said, I got to get some sleep. Said, I'll see you in the morning. I said, okay. So I told him, I said, well, I'm going to work in the morning. So I left about 6:30, and then they call and tell me all this is going on. I ain't got any idea. But I said he was, until this doctor tells him that he's not going to live. I mean, he was like everybody else, a good day sometimes and a bad day sometimes. But it was just, after that, it was all bad days.
Do you think yesterday your son thought he was shooting at demons?
Yeah. Yeah, that night when we was driving to Gadsden, we'd meet a vehicle and he'd say, that's demons. And I'd say, how can you tell? And he'd tell me something that maybe the car didn't look right to him some way, and he'd say, that's a demon. And I'm saying, no, that's not demons. He'd say, it could be a good demon, or it could be a bad demon, but that's said, I can tell by looking at them that's a demon.
tell me this. You walked us through the process of you getting the call, hey, Dad, come help me find demons. You know the demons were not there. What was it like for you to go look for the portal of hell? To go look for the demons?
Anything he wanted, whatever. It, and that night I told him, I said, I tell you what, son, I said, let's, how about me and you? I said, they opened the Huntsville Speedway back up. Let's me and you get us a truck and go race some. He said, hey, that sounds good. Let's do that. So I was trying anything that he would do. That's what I wanted to do.
Did he have a job? I guess so he wasn't working right now.
The doctor said that he'd probably never work again. That he couldn't concentrate long enough. He owns dump trucks, had drivers and all that kind of stuff. So he had income and could make money. There was no problem with him.
So he owned a dump truck business.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess the shotgun that was his shotgun.
I hadn't saw any of the guns. He'd bought some guns, I think, lately. I got a shotgun and a 30-06 rifle and just normal stuff if you deer hunt and all that. I don't know what all he's got of mine or anything. Whatever he wanted, he just got it. So I don't know what guns he's got of mine, or I got some 22s and first one thing another. But
did it worry you at all in his current condition, and the fact that he had guns and he was talking about demons, that he might hurt someone?
I didn't think he would. Some of them said, well, him talking like this, he may hurt you. And I said, I'm not worried about him hurting me. He's not going to hurt me.
What would you say to those that he shot at yesterday?
I think the lady that got shot, that got on the news and said he got what he deserved, I think she doesn't understand. I know that she got shot, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of them, but he needed help, and we couldn't get nobody to help him. I mean, I had never dealt with anything I thought was mental before, and like I said, everybody has different moods, and but this was just something that he couldn't control it, and like I said, it got to where I didn't know if I needed to not say anything or talk to him, or when he's in the hospital, he says, Dad, you didn't even come in the hospital and see me. And I said, the doctor told me not to. He did not do anything that would set you off. I said, if it's going to bother you in any way, don't go to the hospital. So he said, he told his mother not to come. Said, you're not invited. You can't come. But he sent word from me that I could come see him. And then I called him and I said, the doctor tells me right now, don't come. Don't come up there. Wait and let's wait till after the hearing. And I said, I was going to, and he told me not to.